Hey guys, Pastor Ben here with another review and reflection. Today I want to talk about a short audiobook that I finished listening to with my girls a little bit ago. It's written by Jim Weiss and it's called The Adventurous Life of Theodore Roosevelt. So I don't have a print copy to hold up, obviously, but wanted to just share about this particular book and kind of the broader series or project that it's part of because it might be of interest to some of you. So if you follow this channel at all, you will recognize the name Jim Weiss because I did a review about a month ago of a Susan Wise Bauer's, the first volume in her series called Story of the World, which is a 4-volume series that goes from earliest ancient recorded history down to the 20th century. And I did a review of volume 1, which kind of goes from the beginnings down through the Roman Empire, and it's narrated by Jim Weiss. He has partnered with her to narrate all 4 of those volumes, but he has also, and I was not aware of this until recently, he has also written and recorded, I want to say like 20 or 30 other books of his own. So what he's tried to do as a storyteller is to both narrate existing books like the Susan Wise Bauer series, but also to take either classic stories, so sometimes he'll do like Shakespeare stories or Robin Hood or the Count of Monte Cristo or just sort of classic tales, and give his own sort of short version of that, maybe a half hour to an hour long. Or he'll do historical figures like Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or Teddy Roosevelt and try to kind of give a brief overview of their life. And again, he's aiming towards school-aged children, so sort of elementary to middle school, but it's written in such a way that, again, as an adult who loves U.S. history, I was able to listen to the whole thing and really, really enjoy it. So we listened to this story in that series called The Adventurous Life of Theodore Roosevelt as we were driving in the car not too long ago, and it was a great, great story. Weiss has a real gift for picking out interesting anecdotes. So he's telling you funny, interesting parts about the lives of the people that he's talking about. And of course, with Teddy Roosevelt, that's not hard to do because Roosevelt had a fascinating life. He's an interesting character. And he talks about his family, especially as they lived in the White House, and his kids and all the crazy pets and animals that they had. And one time when one of the boys was sick in the White House, the other 2 boys snuck up the pony from the stables up to their brother's room to try to cheer him up. So, all those kinds of crazy stories, but also fitting that into the broader historical context and foreign policy things. So it's really interesting to sort of listen in as he figures out how to navigate, telling these interesting stories to school-aged kids, but also helping them to kind of get oriented to what's going on historically at a bigger picture level. And he does a great job with that. So we listened to this story, and my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old are tracking right along with most everything. They're picking up and enjoying things. There's more that they'll get as they get older, but they're able to understand and appreciate it. But it's doing a great job of not just giving you kind of stories about this person, but fitting that person's story into the broader story of American history or whatever the context is. They're all pretty short, so this one was just over an hour in terms of its audio length. I think if it was in print, it'd probably be 80 or 90 pages. I don't think they actually make print versions of these. I think these are only audiobooks, but you can find them on Audible. You can find them on Well-Trained Mind Press, which is the group that Susan Wise Bauer started for her stuff, but they also publish and distribute a number of Jim Weiss's, books like this. So if you're looking for something that can give you a window into American history, or just sort of classic tales from Western culture and mythology, and not just Western culture. He has his own retellings of like certain Chinese or Japanese tales, ancient Egypt. There's a broader range, but you can go to those places, look up Jim Weiss, and you'll see quite a range of stories. So we've purchased a lot of these for our kids to listen to. They're great to just have while they're coloring or painting or, doing a puzzle or whatever they're doing. They can listen to these in the background and they learn a lot. So in some ways it's a great complement to the Story of the World series. I think a lot of people are aware of that, and I did my review on that, the first volume of that series. I absolutely love that. But this is a great supplement, because where Story of the World might take, it might have a chapter on Teddy Roosevelt, and it might give, 8 or 9 pages on this, Jim Weiss is then going to pull out some of those interesting stories or people or figures or moments and then give you an hour on them. So it's a great way of kind of taking the skeleton that Story of the World gives you and just fleshing it out a little bit for your kids as they develop and get older. So it could be of interest to lots of folks, but especially if you're a homeschool family and looking for good audiobooks to just put on, he's got a wide range of things. My kids have listened to a number of them, and those are my thoughts on his little volume on Teddy Roosevelt, The Adventurous Life of Teddy Roosevelt by Jim Weiss.